Now on Coast TV News.
First flakes of the season set to arrive this morning, tracking light to moderate snow moving across the area, making for slick travel this morning. The latest timing and totals next.
Plus, snow for the roads. We are expecting the first flakes of the season. Are our key highways prepared for potential slick conditions?
Feeling the freeze. What other areas in the mid-Atlantic and the U.S. are experiencing from an Arctic blast?
Fenwick Island challenge, what town officials are considering later today over a state law that could pave the way for a wind farm-related project.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And here is a live look at Milford. This is just off of Route 1. No snow there as of now. Cold temperatures is what they're getting there now, and we await what is expected to be the first snow of the season.
Now let's check out the Maryland coast. This is video we got just moments ago. High above Ocean City, you're looking out at Coastal Highway. Not many people on the roads, not many flakes in the sky. And this is what drivers are dealing with in this part of Delmarva at this hour.
And that is how we begin Friday, December 5th, 2025. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for being up with us during our 5 a.m. hour.
It's a 5 a.m. hour. It's going to be an interesting 5 a.m. hour. It's the first weekend of the final month of the year. That's upon us, and we are talking about the potential of snow.
There's something that's pretty beautiful about the first weekend in December, kicking off the holiday season, having a little snowfall, maybe not much, but
I'll take it.
Nonetheless.
We are in the holiday season, the Christmas time, and I do like a little bit of snow to go with my Christmas.
I agree. I concur very much.
To let us know what we're expecting today, let's get right to First Alert meteorologist Chris Masterbono. He's in the Weather Center. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Yes, we await that first snow of the season as we take a live look in through Salisbury, where temperatures right now there are around the freezing mark, and we are going to be dealing with temperatures right around the freezing mark through the morning, so that's going to make for some slick travel. So you look at the radar, you say, oh, why is it not snowing across Sussex County? There's a lot of dry air to the north, so the snow is battling the drier air, but eventually these flakes are going to reach the surface, and we're beginning to see some light snow push in through the midshore, and this is really the zone where I'm expecting the slickest travel through the morning. Area of low pressure across Tennessee will continue sliding eastward and push off the Carolinas through the afternoon. You can see right now at the beaches we are above the freezing mark, but further inland at or just below it, and we'll drop a few more degrees once the snow gets going. You can see wind flow out of the northeast. Wind chills are in the 20s this morning, so we expect that snow to overspread the region through the morning, and then eventually that snow will then change to a mix and then rain by the afternoon as temperatures begin to get above the freezing mark, expecting a general ½ an inch to as much as 2 inches across the area once all is said and done. So that snow will be continuing through the morning, and then we'll see that snow change to a mix and then eventually some rain by the afternoon as we get those temperatures above the freezing mark. We'll track the snow more on radar, and I'll have your latest weekend forecast coming up a little later on.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this hour is the tracking of the snow and also what it could do to our roads.
Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is live in the Georgetown area. And Emma, you're keeping an eye on our major highways out there.
Matt and Grace, good morning. We have just seen the very first snowflakes of the season here on Delmarva. Nothing sticking to the roads yet or anything like that. We are here at the intersection of Route 113 and Route 9, and right now the roads look exactly normal, like what you would expect, other than the brine laying on them that DelDOT put down. But that could be a very different situation in the next hour or two here as that snow does start to stick and accumulate. But right now it's just these teeny tiny flakes if you look up periodically coming down. So nothing sticking to the roads yet. You know, we are expecting the southwestern parts of the peninsula to see the most snow, especially for our friends over there in Maryland. And again, this is the first snowfall of the season, so it is very exciting. Notably coming earlier this year than last year. Last season, we didn't see that snow until January, until after the new year. So that's a little bit different. And it is cold out here. Definitely can feel the wintry chill in the air. Temperatures around that freezing point. So all the ingredients in place for some snow to come down. We will keep you guys updated on the road conditions throughout the morning. But for now, I'm Emma Aiken reporting live here in Georgetown.
All right, we'll look forward to that for your next check-in. That was Emma Aiken live in Georgetown. Now, things to know, this is not just us, folks. More than half of the U.S. population is waking up to below freezing temperatures this week. A strong Arctic outbreak is bringing the coldest air of the season. We're talking 20 to 30 degrees below average in some locations. Long-standing December record lows could fall from the plains to the East Coast.
And this brings us to our Coast TV poll, and we want to know, how do you usually get ready for a winter storm? So far, majority of people saying they don't prepare at all.
That is an answer.
That's followed next by about 30% of people saying they buy groceries. It's good. And then a few people saying they prep the car and check their heating. And Matt, we do have a comment from Diana in Millsboro who says, quote, I have my 3 Yorkies and food in the fridge. That's all I need. I don't think this snowfall will keep me in the house. And if you haven't voted yet, you can still do so at coasttv.com.
This just in, as we move on, Fenwick Island officials could file an appeal against Delaware Senate Bill 159. This is the bill that was signed into law this past June and says that if a company wants to build an electric substation to support a renewable energy project, that the county must allow it. It's that specific. According to the law, if a project was previously rejected, it now has approval because it meets certain requirements. Fenwick Island officials are expected to discuss the possible appeal filing, and they could vote on that today. That's according to the agenda for the town council meeting scheduled for 11 a.m.
Developing news in the battle on offshore wind. A Delaware Supreme Court judge has paused a legal challenge to Sussex County's denial of a proposed electrical substation near Millsboro. They cite new state laws set to take effect next month that could override the local decision. Judge Mark H. Connor issued a stay on December 1st in the case brought by Renewable Redevelopment, LLC. The company is challenging the council's vote of nearly a year ago that rejected its plan to build a substation to support an offshore wind project.
The ACLU of Delaware is taking action against Fenwick Island. The organization is filing a lawsuit claiming the town is violating the state constitution by allowing corporations to vote in local elections. According to the ACLU, as of this fall, more than 200 entities are registered to vote in the town, accounting for roughly 12% of all voters. The organization says the practice dilutes the votes of individual people and violates Delaware's guarantee of free and equal elections.
Delaware State Treasurer Colleen Davis says she'll step down when her term ends next year. In a Facebook statement, Davis said after months of reflection, it's, quote, the right time to make room for new leadership. First elected in 2018, Davis called her 7 years in office a privilege, highlighting investment gains, COVID-era savings for taxpayers, and the launch of the Delaware Earns Retirement Program. She says she'll use the remaining 13 months to keep state finances strong and ensure a smooth transition.
And in Maryland, House Speaker Adrienne Jones is stepping down from her leadership role at the end of the year. Governor Wes Moore praised her announcement, calling Jones a mentor and a history-making leader who spent 5 decades putting service first. He credited the Democratic leader with big achievements, from improving school facilities to bolstering HBCUs and creating the Department of Social and Economic Mobility. Jones will continue serving District 10, and Moore says he'll work with House leaders to ensure a smooth transition. New overnight, after nearly 5 years, federal officials say they've arrested the person who placed pipe bombs outside 2 political party headquarters in Washington.
NBC's Tracy Wilkins showing us while President Trump pardoned hundreds of January 6 rioters, the language of the pardon did not appear to extend to the individual who planted the pipe bombs.
On the eve of January 6, 2021, hours before rioters stormed the U.S. Capitol, pipe bombs were discovered outside the Democratic and Republican Party headquarters in Washington, D.C. Images of the person suspected of the crime were shared by investigators, then nothing more for years.
4 years, 10 months, and 28 days ago, an individual placed a bomb in the vicinity of both the RNC and the DNC. And for that amount of time, that individual evaded accountability.
30-year-old Brian Cole Jr. of Woodbridge, Virginia, is facing multiple charges connected to placing the pipe bombs, including transporting an explosive device and attempting malicious destruction.
Folks, you're not going to walk into our capital city, put down 2 explosive devices, and walk off in the sunset. Not going to happen.
Thursday, investigators were seen at Cole's home in Woodbridge, 30 miles outside of D.C., where he lived with his mother and relatives. Family declined comment to NBC News. A motive in the alleged crime is still unclear. The FBI said Cole was charged after a fresh look at his credit card and cell phone records and revisiting local stores where the bomb-making materials were purchased.
Let me be clear, there was no new tip, there was no new witness, just good, diligent police work and prosecutorial work, working as a team.
During the announcement, officials appointed under the Trump administration laid blame for the delay in the arrest with the Biden administration, saying it failed to prioritize the case.
Today's arrest happened because the Trump administration has made this case a priority.
In Washington.
New this morning back home in Rehoboth Beach, road closures taking place tomorrow. According to the city, it's to make way for over 3,000 runners who are participating in the Rehoboth Beach Seashore Marathon. Officials say closures begin at 7 a.m. and are expected to last until 3, and some of the streets being impacted are parts of Rehoboth Avenue, State Road, Hickman Street, and Stockley Street.
DelDOT is announcing upcoming closures of the Woodland Ferry. According to the department, the first closure set to take place from December 15th to the 22nd, and then again on Christmas Day, and finally from December 29th to January 2nd.
And we're just getting started here on this hour of CoastTV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, Grace, on CoastTV News Today, the Grinch Gets Meal will show you what's included in McDonald's new holiday offer.
And updating downtown parking, we'll tell you what leaders in Easton are proposing.
But first, there is First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono in the Weather Center is working on that wintry mix along with the temperature ranges, and we check in with him next.
Good Friday morning, Delmarva. The flakes beginning to fall in Salisbury. You could see them beginning to fall there, and we have a temperature in Salisbury right around the freezing mark, and temperatures are generally at or just below the freezing mark away from the beaches. We're at 34 Rehoboth, 31 in Millsboro, where you're seeing the brighter whites. That is the snow beginning to reach the surface, and some light snow continuing to fall from Cambridge down through Crisfield. And this is really the zone we're expecting the most slick conditions through the morning, so expecting that snow to overspread the region throughout the morning. It's our first snowfall. It's not going to be a major storm, so use some caution out there this morning. And the slickest travel we expect is going to be right between now and 11 a.m. And then notice as we get into the afternoon, we get above that freezing mark and expecting rain. Then as we go into the evening, we could even see some freezing drizzle. We'll talk more about that coming up in the full forecast here in a few minutes.
A reminder for Delaware nonprofits, today is the deadline to apply for grant and aid funding from the General Assembly. State officials say grant and aid helps support nonprofit organizations that provide important services to people across Delaware. According to the General Assembly, the money is meant to supplement an agency's budget, not fully fund it. Nonprofits can submit applications and check qualifications online.
All right, and this is a little crazy. We want to know what you think about this. McDonald's has launched a Grinch-themed meal this holiday season, which includes a new menu item, dill pickle McShaker fries.
Oh no.
This is absolutely insane. The fries come in a Grinch meal along with your choice of a Big Mac or a 10-piece McNugget. I know, I got Matt's attention. Much like McDonald's iconic Happy Meal, it comes with a prize Grinch-themed holiday socks. The Grinch meal is now available, but the company says only for an available limited amount of time.
I may need to get one of those just for those socks.
I think you do, Matt. If you see him next week with the socks on, you'll know where he got them.
All right. Moving on, Samsung has unveiled its Galaxy Z Tri-Fold phone. This ultra-thin device unfolds twice to reveal a 10-inch screen. It's enhanced AI features in the Gemini app, and customers are able to get a 6-month trial on Google AI Pro. Galaxy Z Tri-Fold is available for purchase at select retailers in the United States early next year.
Well, we're going to start our Friday with some snow as the snow continues to overspread the region through the morning. Now we're expecting that snow to eventually change to rain this afternoon with milder temperatures, and we're looking at a chilly, dry, but more clouds and sun over the weekend. We'll track the snow right after the break.
Time is 5:18, and you are looking live at some thick clouds in the distance over southern Milford. No snow yet there, but snow is our story this morning. And Chris, what a way to start the weekend.
I know, right? Some of us want the snow, some of us don't, but it's not going to be a big storm, just enough to kind of get us into more of the Christmas spirit across the area as we're beginning to see that snow work into the southwest portion of the peninsula. The snow is battling some dry air, especially across southern Delaware, but we're beginning to see those flakes reach the surface from Salisbury down through Crisfield, Smith Island. The snow not all that heavy where you see the brighter whites. That is the heavier bands. We have high pressure to the north, Arctic air to the north, and here's our area of low pressure. Instead of riding up the coast, the system is going to pretty much push eastward and push off the Carolinas. Look at the air mass in place here. -1 Burlington. We had a record low in Mount Pocono this morning of -2, so the cold air is set in place. We're at the freezing mark in Salisbury. You can see the snowflakes flying there by the street light. We're at 31 Millsboro, 31 in Redden, 29 in Milford, so certainly cold enough to snow. Wind chills are in the mid-20s this morning. We do have that winter weather advisory that continues through 7 o'clock this evening. This encompasses Dorchester, Somerset, Wacomico, Worcester counties. This is really the zone where we expect the slickest travel through the day today, and that also encompasses Worcester County, as I mentioned. So the snow will continue to overspread the peninsula through the morning. Light to moderate snow expected. Then as we go into the lunchtime hour, notice the east wind. That brings in milder air. So we're going to get into the upper 30s to near 40 at the beaches through the afternoon. So that's going to change any snow over to rain. We may hang on to the snow a little longer, western portions of the peninsula. And then as we go in the latter part of the day, the precip will become more scattered, more spotty in nature, and we could even see some spotty freezing drizzle overnight. So a general coating or less from the coast down through Chincoteague, mixing with the rain, a ½ inch to as much as 2 inches. I think if anybody picks up 2 inches, it's going to be areas across the mid-shore. Again, that sharp cutoff, the further north you go, say north of Kent County. Temperatures this afternoon getting to 37 in Georgetown. We'll have a high of 34 Denton, 34 in Vienna, and as I mentioned, 41 in Ocean City as that milder air pushes in. The good news is the weekend looks dry. Few more clouds than sun, but we stay on the chilly side. We'll have another front that comes through late Sunday through Monday. 37 degrees with that rain and snow through the afternoon. Just a cold, raw day. Will fall to 33, some spotty shower or even some freezing drizzle possible overnight. 44 into Saturday, a mostly cloudy, chilly day, and we stay cloudy, mostly cloudy through most of Saturday. Partly sunny skies, 46, and then the cold front pushes through. High of 36 into Monday, and then we'll bump it up to 50 degrees on Wednesday under cloudy skies. Grace.
Thank you, Chris. And Worcester County Commissioners have chosen their leaders for the year. The board re-elected Theodore Elder as president. He represents the Western District and is in his 3rd term. And Commissioner Madison Bunting Jr. is now vice president. He represents the Northern District and is in his 4th term.
Easton wants to modernize its downtown parking system, planning to reduce old meters and kiosks with a new QR code option. That was discussed at this week's town council meeting. The town says the QR code would start as a 1-year pilot program. Businesses we spoke with say the current setup can get confusing for visitors and that a potential easier option is a digital system.
I think it'll be an asset to the community, really. And you got to grow along with the times. So it's time for a change. You know, the mom and pop days are over with. We're in the 21st century. QR codes are all over the place, almost everywhere you go. So it's something we have to learn to live with.
Public hearing on the proposal is set for December 15th.
After the break on Coast TV News today, the holidays are in full swing across the coast, and this weekend brings in all kinds of ways to get into the fun, festive spirit. Stay tuned for your cool things to do.
Salisbury Zoo is celebrating a first. It's the arrival of a herd of 5 endangered Chicoan peccaries. The pig-like animals are native to South America with fewer than 3,000 left in the wild. Visitors can now see the group. Here are their names. We got Fern, Wilma, Angie, Azuki, and Jelly, and they can be found in the South American exhibit.
Well, we're awaiting the snow in Lewis as we take a live look there. A temperature of 31 degrees, so certainly cold enough to support snow. And we're going to see the snow at least through the morning in Ocean City and Fenwick Island. And then we're going to transition to rain. As you see, temperatures are going to soar into the lower 40s as we see an east wind kick in. So we're going to see some slick conditions at least through the morning in Lewis and Rehoboth as those milder temperatures get in. This is really the zone, Cambridge and Crisfield, where we could pick up as much as 1 to 2 inches of snow through the morning, and then we'll get those temperatures above the freezing mark as we go into the afternoon. Ralph Groves, Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, congratulations on winning an umbrella from Coast TV, and you can always call our First Alert weather phone for your latest forecast. We'll track the snow coming up in the next half hour.
Thank you, Chris. And new this morning, if you're craving a little holiday magic, you don't have to look very far this weekend.
No, you do. From Lewis to Bethany Beach, Christina DeRobertis has a look at all your cool things to do.
If you're at all struggling to get into the holiday spirit, just head over to Rehoboth Beach on Saturday because there's going to be hundreds of people dressed like Santa for the 4th annual Santa Bar Crawl. The event kicks off at 1 p.m. at Wilmington Avenue, and there are no tickets, but you're asked to bring a toy for Toys for Tots and a small donation for Tunnel to Towers. And the real Santa, not the bar crawl version, will be in Milton on Saturday. That's from 10 to 2 at Santa's Village next to the Milton Theater. There you'll find holiday vendors, decorated trees, and free hot chocolate, all sponsored by Milton Main Street. Bethany Beach, keeping the magic going with Weekend Wonderland all day Saturday. You can shop small and hop on the trolley to see the town's Christmas displays. And finally, Lewis lights up with its Christmas parade starting at 5 Saturday night. Organizers expect about 100 entries in the parade, and after that, head to Zwannendale Park for the tree lighting and caroling. For more details, just head over to our website, coasttv.com, and click on Cool Things to Do.
Now on Coast TV News.
First flakes of the season set to arrive this morning, tracking light to moderate snow moving across the area, making for slick travel this morning. The latest timing and totals next.
Plus, snow for the roads. We are expecting the first flakes of the season. Are our key highways prepared for potential slick conditions?
Fenwick voting questioned. Why the ACLU is filing a lawsuit against Fenwick Island's election process.
Early food drive returns. How much was collected in connection with Georgetown's caroling on the Circle?
This is Coast TV News Today.
Starting off this morning by giving you a live look into Salisbury. This is Carroll Street right near Route 13. I want you to take a look towards the center lower part of your screen. That street light you see, it's glowing, and that's where you can see the first flurries of the year. We've got a few flakes coming down, some cold temperatures this Tuesday morning.
Yeah, and here is Millsboro just moments ago. Not seeing snow here. This is northeast of what we were just seeing in Salisbury. DelDOT treated this area earlier, and now we wait to see how effective that work will be. Got a taste of winter on December 5th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for being up with us
Then
today.
we got 5:32 a.m. Grace, not sure if we're going to have enough snow for your stated desire to have that snow angel.
I just want to, I've said this before. I want to go into the parking lot. I want to make a snow angel. I want to put a little Coast TV hat on it or something like that. We could be snowmen out there. And I don't think that's what's going to happen.
I don't think today.
A girl can dream.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
Someday soon, maybe. All right.
Turning now to First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. Chris, you're not tracking snow angel level snow yet. We've got a few flurries as people are making their way out the door.
Good morning, Grace and Matt. Yes, not going to be a big storm, but just enough to kind of get our palate wet for the snow and the winter season ahead. As we take a live look in through Salisbury, temperature there right around the freezing mark. Now, the snow has been battling some dry air across much of southern Delaware, but expecting the snow to will begin to fall here through the next hour and really begin to pick up in intensity through at least the early part of the morning. You could see the snow, light snow falling from Cambridge down through Crisfield, and where you see the brighter whites, that's an indicator of some heavier pockets of snow. You can see plenty more moisture back off to the southwest. Area of low pressure will just push to our southeast throughout the afternoon. We're at 31 Long Neck, 34 Rehoboth, but 29 in Milford. Wind flow out of the northeast, so wind chills this morning are generally in the low to mid 20s. Now visibility, we look at this as an indicator to see where the heavy snow is. Visibility down to a mile there in Wallops Island, so that's a sign of some moderate snow pushing into the peninsula. So the snow will be with us through the morning. Expect some slick travel, especially on those untreated surfaces in the winter weather advisory area across Maryland. Now that rain will arrive this afternoon, especially along the coast. So any snow will transition to rain as milder air filters in. Could see as much as 2 inches across the area. That will be primarily across the southwestern portion of the peninsula. So the snow will be with us through the morning with temperatures at or just below freezing. And then we get above that freezing mark as we get into the afternoon. And that snow will then transition to a period of rain through the day today. We'll talk more about the snowfall totals and the weekend ahead coming up my full 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this half hour is the potential first snowfall of the season on Delmarva. I think it's pretty confirmed.
Yeah, I think we got that confirmation now. We did send our Emma Aiken out in the elements. She's live in Georgetown. She's at one of the busier intersections in the heart of Sussex County. Good morning, Emma.
Matt and Grace, good morning. It is definitely snowing out here. We have these tiny baby flurries coming down, but they're coming down consistently now. We're at the intersection of Route 113 and Route 9. Nothing noticeable on the roads yet. This hasn't started sticking or accumulating, so nothing to be concerned about if you're driving right now, but that could be a different situation in an hour or two if this does start to stick and make those roads more wet. We know the further away from the beaches you are, the worse it may be, the more snow you may see. Again, it's just these tiny flakes coming down. If you're looking at the roads, you will not see anything sticking, but if you're outside and you're looking up at the black sky, you're gonna see white specks coming down onto this. Is officially the first snow of the season, a little bit earlier than last year. Last year, we didn't see that snow until January. So again, if you are driving in the next few hours, maybe just keep a heads up if the roads are slick, since we are just getting used to things again for the winter here. And it's definitely cold out here, definitely freezing like temperatures. So it's winter, it's snowing. We will keep you guys updated on the road conditions here, and we'll check back in later on. But for now, I'm Emma Aiken reporting live here in Georgetown.
Thank you, Emma. Very exciting news for winter lovers. Now turning to the ACLU of Delaware, taking action against Fenwick Island. The organization is filing a lawsuit claiming the town is violating the state constitution by allowing corporations to vote in local elections. According to the ACLU, as of this fall, more than 200 entities are registered to vote in the town, accounting for roughly 12% of all voters. The organization says that practice dilutes the votes of individuals, people, and violates Delaware's guarantee of free and equal elections.
Also in Fenwick Island, town officials could file an appeal against Delaware Senate Bill 159. This is the bill that was signed into law this past June, that if a company wants to build an electric substation to support a renewable energy project, the county must allow it. That's pretty specific there. According to the law, if a project was previously rejected, it now has approval because it meets certain requirements. Fenwick Island officials are expected to discuss the possible appeal filing and could vote on that today. That's according to the agenda for the town council meeting scheduled for 11 a.m.
Developing news in the battle on offshore wind, a Delaware Superior Court judge has paused a legal challenge to Sussex County's council denial of a proposed electrical substation near Millsboro, citing new state laws set to take effect next month that could override the local decision. Judge Mark H. Connor issued a stay on December 1st in the case brought by Renewable Redevelopment, LLC. The company is challenging the council's vote of nearly a year ago that rejected its plan to build a substation to support the offshore wind projects.
Delaware State Treasurer Colleen Davis says she'll step down when her term ends next year. In a Facebook statement, Davis said after months of reflection, it's, quote, the right moment to make room for new leadership. First elected in 2018, the Indian River High School alum called her 7 years in office a privilege, highlighting investment gains, COVID-era savings for taxpayers, and the launch of the Delaware Earns Retirement Program. She says she'll use the remaining 13 months to keep state finances strong and ensure a smooth transition.
Thousands gathered in Georgetown for the 42nd annual Caroling on the Circle, and the community showed up in a big way for local families in need. Organizers say Thursday night's event collected over 20,000 canned and non-perishable food items, all to be distributed between about 20 local pantries. The campaign runs through the end of December.
Road closures taking place in Rehoboth Beach tomorrow. According to the city, this is to make way for the over 3,000 runners participating in the Rehoboth Beach Seashore Marathon. Officials say closures begin at 7 a.m. They're expected to last until 3 p.m. Some of the streets being impacted are parts of Rehoboth Avenue, State Road, Hickman Street, and Stockley Street.
New overnight, the CDC is expected to hold a crucial vote that would change the guidelines on when to give hepatitis B vaccines to babies.
Yeah, today's vote comes after a delay over confusion on the language they were voting on. Jen Sullivan shows us the controversy surrounding the decision.
We absolutely have not reached consensus.
You have said we have reached consensus.
A chaotic meeting Thursday among members of the Vaccine Advisory Panel for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The meeting centered around the hepatitis B vaccine and whether it should be given to newborn babies even if the mother tests negative or their status is unknown.
And there's broad agreement that hepatitis B is a serious health threat with serious outcomes. That's not up for debate.
What was up for debate was if additional data is needed on whether the vaccine should be delayed and the dose. The Vaccine Advisory Panel is made up of members handpicked by U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a longtime anti-vaccine activist.
You know that the decisions that they're going to be making are not science-based.
Vaccinating all newborns against hepatitis B was first recommended in 1991. Since then, hepatitis infections among infants and children have dropped 99%, from an estimated 16,000 to less than 20, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics. A recent article from the AAP states while universal screening of pregnant people is helpful, it does not identify all infected mothers. They went on to write, evidence shows the vaccine is safe. But some worry this latest debate will create further confusion.
It has already sowed unneeded anxiety, confusion, questioning, and concerns in American families who are trying to make the best decision for their children.
I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
And we have a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Dover speeding dilemma. We'll tell you what city leaders are proposing that they hope will slow drivers down in one busy area.
And basketball back in swing. How Woodbridge got a road win up in Newcastle County. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
Good Friday morning. Delmarva snow continuing to overspread the peninsula. We're battling some dry air across southern Delaware. As we've been mentioned, it's going to be a sharp cutoff the further north you go, but you can see the brighter whites here pushing ashore along portions of Dorchester and portions of Wicomico County. So expecting the snow to pick up in intensity here over the next hour. We're at 32 in Salisbury. Temperatures are below freezing away from the beaches. At the beaches, we're generally just above the freezing mark. So expect slick conditions through the morning with periods of snow. We'll transition to a mix of snow and rain through the afternoon as we get above the freezing mark, and just a cold, raw evening. Temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 30s with some spotty drizzle, and even some potential freezing drizzle is possible across portions of the peninsula. Have the latest snowfall totals here in minutes.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning, Delmarvans. Basketball is getting started for more and more schools here in our area. McKean hosted Woodbridge on Thursday night. Let's not waste any more time getting to those highlights. I know you'll want to see them. We start here with some defense turning into offense. Cameron DeShields, the steal and the dunk. Woodbridge in control this one early. We go to the second half. Woodbridge out in front. Cartier Johnson give them three. McKean trying to claw their way back into this ball game. Later in the third quarter, it's Omar O'Neal. Banks open even on a Thursday night. They trail by double digits, but they're trying to start a comeback here, are the Highlanders, but not before Makai Everett drives and dishes to Jabril Neal with the easy deuce. That's a nice play there for Woodbridge. But later, Cartier Johnson, this time on the fast break, rising up, throwing it down. Impressive finish from Johnson, but now we're still in the third quarter. The Shields, he's open behind the three-point line from the corner, splashes the three. He's someone you cannot leave wide open. Then later, it's Tayshawn Williams to Malachi Hayes, back to Williams, the lob and the lay-in finish. Thought he might dunk that one. Woodbridge staying at an arm's distance, and then it's Williams again. This time he's driving baseline, a little reverse layup action. How did he make that one through two defenders? Woodbridge would go on to win 68-51, starting their season off on a high note. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 7, it is live NBA G League action when the Delaware Bluecoats host the Long Island Nets, and then you can catch the final score at 10:30. You can watch that G League basketball game on DSN Plus along with these exclusives. At 3, it's the Andy Perez Memorial Wrestling Tournament. And then a pair of high school boys basketball games. At 3:30, Conrad takes on Brandywine. 5:30, Delmarva Christian is home with Cesar Rodney.
And coming up this week in Sunday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Houston Texans in Week 14 of the regular season. You can watch that game right here on Coast TV and then stay after for Coast TV News.
Time to showcase how you are decorating your homes this holiday season, and today's holiday house is coming from Margaret in Selbyville. This shows a festive fireplace with stockings and that bright Christmas tree on the left side there. Some great lights there. Grace, I noticed there are colored lights.
Matt and I are having this debate over
that
colored
is the
and white
Christmas
lights.
debate. Margaret, you did fantastic in this
Margaret's
picture
home.
here.
I also think I like that truck on the right side. That almost looks like your truck, Matt.
I
Pretty
do like that
close.
truck. That is just a great setup from Margaret in Selbyville.
And if you'd like to send us your festive decorations to be shared in our broadcast, you can take a look at your screen now. Send in those photos by heading to our website, coasttv.com/holidayhouse. The time is now 5:49 a.m. as we're taking a live look out into Salisbury and parts of Delmarva, seeing some flurries this morning. And with your winter forecast, it's First Alert Meteorologist Chris Mastrobono, or should I say, Chris Mastro Snow No.
Oh my Lord. I never know what to expect from you, Greg. I know, well, me and you are happy because it's snowing, right? Some people may not be happy. Now, it's not going to be a big snowstorm, but just enough to, wet our palate for the winter season. And we've been battling some dry air across southern Delaware. You can see the snow trying to go north. We're going to eventually see some snow, some steadier snow work into Sussex County. The steadiest snow we're seeing right now, portions of Wycomico County, Dorchester County seeing those brighter whites, so that's a sign of some moderate snowfall pushing in over the bay. Here's our area of low pressure over the portions of North Carolina, and it's not going to be a big storm. It's going to kind of push off the coast instead of really deepening and strengthening and moving up the coast like a nor'easter would. We're going to see plenty of cold air, though. Look at the cold air to the north. It's 7 degrees in Detroit. We broke a record low in Mount Pocono this morning of -2 degrees. We are at 32 in Salisbury with that snow beginning to fall there. 30 Long Neck, 32 Milton. We're at 31 in Reading, but we are above the freezing mark at the beaches right now. Wind chills, feels like 25 Millsboro, 24 in Salisbury this morning. Winter weather advisory continues for Dorchester, Somerset, Wycomico, Worcester counties. This goes through 7 o'clock tonight. That's the zone where we could see up to 2 inches of snow once all is said and done. Futurecast shows the snow continuing through the morning and pushing into Sussex County, but notice the mix line beginning to push into Ocean View and Ocean City by 10:30. That's that milder air filtering in off the Atlantic with the east wind. Still seeing some snow western portions of the peninsula, but that rain snow line beginning to inch ever so closer to the middle of the peninsula. Then as we go into the afternoon into the evening, I think we'll just see a few spotty showers, very raw, very damp, and maybe even some spotty freezing drizzle. Less than a coating for the beaches down through Ocean City, Chincoteague, as we go to that mixed terrain, about a coating to as much as 2 inches of snow from from Route 13 on points westward. That's the zone where we could see the most snow once all is said and done. So the snow will be with us through the morning, so expecting the slickest travel through about lunchtime, and then those temperatures will get above the freezing mark as we get into the afternoon. We stay dry, mostly cloudy through the weekend, and then another cold front will be pushing through Sunday night. 37 degrees this afternoon with that mix of rain and snow by the afternoon. Just a cold, raw day, and that will carry over into the evening. We'll fall to 33 with some spotty showers. Even some isolated freezing drizzle can't be ruled out, so use some caution even through the evening and overnight. 44 by our Saturday. under mostly cloudy skies. Partly sunny, 46 on Sunday. Cold front pushes through. We fall to 36 for a high Monday. Cold morning on Tuesday, teens and 20s, and then we're back up to 50 degrees by Wednesday.
Thank you, Chris. And neighbors on East Lokerman Street in Dover are raising concerns about speeding. People living there say drivers using the street as a shortcut between Route 13 and Route 8 have turned it into a pretty dangerous raceway. Neighbors proposed closing the neighborhood entrance, but the city rejected that request. Instead, the city plans to propose new speed signs and striping at next week's county meeting to help slow down traffic.
That tends to slow people down. If they come into a road that's just, curb to curb blacktop with no lines on it, it has a different impact on them than if they come to a road that's got, the 2 white lines for the edge, a center line of yellow. People just kind of naturally slow down a little bit. So,
the proposal to add signage is set to go before Dover committee members on Tuesday, and if approved, it would then move to full council at a later date.
We are continuing with our Bless Our Children campaign. As you can see, we're starting to fill up this tree with your cards and donations. We are raising money so that every child on Delmarva has that special present to open during this Christmas time. And as you can see, there's also still plenty of room for you to send a card in your donation. Now, I want to highlight this one that we received. You got all these Santas in the shape of a Christmas tree. And this one is from Adeline from Selbyville, and she has the message, wishing happiness for all the children. Thank you for this card. Businesses can help by accepting the Shell Brothers Challenge of donating at least $1,000. And if you want to help, send a donation and a holiday card, and we may just read it on the air. Send a check or money order to the address on your screen or donate online at blessourchildren.org.
We have already raised over $210,000 to help children and families this holiday season. Again, we'd like to thank all who have donated. And the time is now 5:54 a.m. Matt, time to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
Oh, look at this. We got Alaska here. Now, on Fridays, we usually highlight pets from the Brandywine Valley SPCA. So this is Alaska, a friendly girl, and can't wait to stun you with her good looks and sweet personality. So if you want to adopt Alaska or any other lovable pet, just head on over to the Brandywine Valley SPCA.
My goodness, Matt, she is beautiful. We'd like to see more of your pets on Delmarva. If you adopt Alaska and you want to send us some photos, tell us what makes your pet so special. You can take a look at your screen.
Scan that QR code at the top center to get your friends to CoastTV News, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
Well, we're seeing some steady to moderate snowfall beginning to build into Dorchester and Wacomico counties, and this snow is going to continue to overspread the region through the morning, so use caution. We'll have some slick travel at least through midday, and then that snow will be transitioning to rain as we get into the coast. Now, the good news is we are going to be dry for the Rehoboth Seashore Marathon tomorrow.
Go, Elisa!
Good luck to Elisa Weber running in there. We're going to have temperatures in the mid to upper 30s to start. A lot of clouds tomorrow, but we're going to be on the dry side. Temperatures are going to be rising to 44 on Saturday, and then we'll see highs around 46 Sunday. Another cold front brings in some cold air. You can see some reinforcing shots of cold air there early in the week, and then another one late in the week. So we'll be up to 50 there on Wednesday, so that's something to look forward to, Matt.
Yeah, I guess. Hey, looking out today and tomorrow, Chris, what a difference 7 degrees can make. Just 7 degrees, especially for our runners. And again, good luck, Elisa Weber, at the marathon tomorrow. All right, well, coming up in our next hour, roads and snow. It's our story this morning. A likely slick start for your Friday commute, and we'll get a live update on the driving conditions. That and more when Coast TV News Today continues.